All right, so we are going to be adding rational numbers. Write your answers in simplest form. Remember the rules with adding integers, okay? So we have negative 4/5 plus 3/20. I want you to write on the side of this, are we really adding these or are we really going to subtract them? We are really going to subtract them. So I'm going to put a subtraction sign, which you can't see up there, okay? Now we have to get a common denominator. Common denominator between 5 and 20 is 20. I don't have to change the other one. I'm going to get common denominators first. 5 times what is 20?
4.
So this is negative. 4 times 4 is 16. Now what we need to do is decide which one goes on top. Well, drop the signs. We're going to make it 16 over 20 minus 3 over 20. We get 13 over 20. Keep the sign of the 16, which was negative. If you look at number 2, negative 8 plus negative 6. We are really going to be adding these. This one's kind of easy, you guys. Remember, when we add, we drop off the signs. We're just taking 8 plus 6/7. That is just 8 and 6/7, and we've got to keep the sign, which is negative. So on this problem, we are really subtracting. Drop the signs off. Which one is bigger? When you take the absolute value, 3.5 is bigger, right? We're going to subtract 1 and 2/15. Now, common denominator between 2 and 15 is 30, right? Two times 15 is 30. 1 times 15 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. So 2 times 2 is 4. Can we subtract now? We sure can. 15 minus 4 is 11 over 30. 3 minus 1 is 2. Keep the sign of the 1 on top from the original problem, so it is negative. You do number 4. So remember, on your answer of negative 7/12, can the negative be on top? Yes, because it's still negative. Could it be on the bottom? Yes. Can it be out front? Yes, those are all the same answer. Look at number 5. We're really going to subtract. Drop the signs off. Take the absolute value of each number. Which one's bigger? 3, right? We're going to take 3 minus, this is 9/10. Remember when we were doing this at the beginning of the year? That 3 does not have a denominator. I want it to be 10. It doesn't have any with it, right? It's 3 and 0/10. What do we have to do, Caden?
30 over 10.
You could, right? Or we could borrow, right? And make this 2 and add those two together. Your new numerator is 10. So 10/10 minus 9/10 is 1/10. 2 minus nothing is 2. We take the sign of the 3 on top, which was negative. I added that number 5.5. If I look at it and drop the fractions off, negative 5 plus negative 4 is negative 9. So we're really going to add these, right? Common denominator between 6 and 4 is 12. Four times 3 is 12. So 3 times 3 is 6 times 2 is 12. So 5 times 2 is, we can add them together now. 9 plus 10 is 19/12. 5 plus 4 is 9. If you notice, 19/12 is more than 1, isn't it? That's really 1 and 7/12, right? You got to add that onto the 9. So we get 10 and 7/12. Keep the sign of the original problem, which was negative. Look at number 7. Whoops, sorry, number 6. Okay, it's 0.46 plus negative 0.642. Are we really going to add these, or are we going to really subtract them?
Subtract.
We are going to be subtracting these. Take the absolute value of each number, and this one is bigger, right? So we're going to put 0.642 on top, and we're going to subtract 0.46. Okay, I'm going to put a 0 here so it's easier to subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. I have to borrow. That's a 5. That's 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. 5 minus 4 is
1.
And then we have a decimal that comes straight down. Take the sign of this one, which was negative. Number 7, are we really adding them, or are we really subtracting them? Subtracting them. Okay? We are really subtracting them. So drop the signs, which is taking the absolute value. 5.7 is bigger. So we're going to take 5.7 minus, I got to line them up, 0.13. And I have to put a 0 here. Can I take 3 from 0? Borrow, right? 6, that's 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 6 minus 1 is
5.
Bring down your decimal point. 5 minus 0 is 5. Keep the sign of the 1 on top, which is,
Positive.
no, it's negative.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Number 8, what are we really doing to these?
Subtracting. Adding.
We're adding them. If you took -2 plus -3, you'd really be adding them, wouldn't you? So I just line them up. 2.57 plus 3.48. And we add them together. 8 and 7 is 15. Carry the 1. 5, 1, and 4 is 10. Bring down your decimal point. Carry the 1. And we get 6. Keep the sign. Negative. Evaluate x plus y. That's an algebraic or a variable expression. Do we know what x is? Yep, it's 1/3. So we're going to write down 1/3 plus y is -7/4. So write that down. Are we really going to be adding these or subtracting them? If you look at the numerator, like just forget the denominators. 1 plus -7, you're really subtracting. Now, let's get a common denominator. Common denominator is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. So 1 times 4 is
12.
4.
Oh,
Nice.
that said 3 times 4. I knew that. Big brain.
12 here. 4 times 3 is 12. So 7 times 3 is 21. Drop the signs. 21 over 12 goes on top. Minus 4/12. 21 minus 4 is 17, right? Over 12. Keep the sign of the 1 on top, which is negative. Now notice that that is an improper fraction. How many times does 12 keep the negative sign? 12 goes into 17 one time with 5 left over. It's -1 and 5/12. If you look at 3x plus y, when 3 is sitting next to x, it means to multiply, right? So I'm going to put a little dot in there if I want to. Let's substitute in. We're going to write 3 times x is 1/3 plus y is -7/4. according to the order of operations, do we multiply or add first? Multiply. Well, I'm going to do this first. So I'm going to put 3 over. We know 3 is a rational number. So it's 3 over 1. Look at what happens to my 3's. They cancel, don't they? So 1 times 1 over 1 times 1 is just 1. Plus negative 7/4. Well, common denominator. Are we really going to add these or subtract them?
Subtract.
Subtract. Common denominator is fourths. That's 4/4 plus negative 7/4. So absolute value of both of them, 7's bigger. We're going to take 7/4 minus 4/4, which is 3/4. Take the sign of the one on top, which is, so my answer is negative 3/4.